Hi, this is Lee Majors, and you're listening to TV Confidential.
Tonight is all about Lucille Ball, and tonight is a public thank you for all of the joy and laughter that Miss Ball brought into our lives, and she continues to do so today.
Ed Robertson welcoming you back to TV Confidential radio talk show about television. That is always happy to welcome back our friend Donelle Dadigan. Donelle Dadigan, founder and president of the Hollywood Museum, as well as chair of both the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce and the Hollywood Historic Trust, and a member of the California Film Commission. Donelle Dadigan was also recently named Hollywood's most influential woman, and with very good reason. Donelle is not only responsible for creating the Hollywood Museum, she has brought together many of the industry's elite for the Academy Awards, the Emmy Awards, and other gala events, including two recent events of the Hollywood Museum that celebrated the launch of two new exhibits that are now on display this summer. We'll tell you more about that and more in just a second. But first, Donelle Dadigan, welcome back to our program.
Hey, Ed, so glad to be with you today and your TV Confidential audience.
And our TV Confidential audience knows about one of your new exhibits, Donelle, that being the Remembering Lucy exhibit. We'll talk about the other two exhibits in just a second, but while we're on the subject of Lucy, everyone I've talked to for this program seems to have a Lucy story. I understand you have a Lucy story, and it involves a barbecue gathering and a pair of glasses. Can you share that story with our listeners?
You know, it's actually so endearing. They always talk about 6 degrees of separation, but in Hollywood, it's just 1 or 2 or maybe 3. And so years ago, before I even knew I was going to do a museum, and before I realized the importance of being able to create an environment where locals and tourists and professionals as well could come and learn more about their TV favorites and their film favorites and how it all got started almost 100 years ago, I had another life. And my ex's best friend lived in the old Jack Benny home.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack Benny was Lucille Ball's neighbor. And Lucille Ball was still living in her home on North Roxbury Drive, and we would go to barbecue at our friend's home every Sunday afternoon. He loved to do barbecue. And Lucille Ball would come, and she would put her head over the fence dividing between the two homes, the neighbor's fence, and it was the wildest of things. She had her tumbler of scotch, she had her cigarette, and these wonderful glasses. You remember in the 80s when the arms of the glasses, instead of starting at the top, they started at the bottom and then came to your ear. And it was just the wildest thing. It was so trendy and hot looking at that time. And I remember commenting to Miss Ball, "Oh, I just love your glasses." And she had like this gravel-gurdy voice, and she would chit-chat. And then she'd go back into her home, and when barbecue was done, we would come over. The owner's wife and myself, we would carry barbecue over to Lucy's house, which was next door. And her houseman would open up the side door, and we would give the barbecue. Sometimes we'd see Lucille Ball, sometimes we wouldn't. But, you know, it was something because she had such a distinctive voice. When she passed away in 1989, all of a sudden, there is a package for me from Lucille Ball. Loved my glasses so much, I want for her to have a pair of these. And she gave me makeup, some of it Max Factor, one lipstick from Don Loper, and I giggle to this day when I think, oh, and of course, yes, some costume jewelry, paste earrings that she wore in the Lucy, I Love Lucy show. And I think about it years later, who knew I would start a museum? Who knew we would have need for this other than a personal souvenir remembrance of a great time? And so today I proudly display them at the Hollywood Museum in the Redheads Only room where Lucille Ball received her signature red hair from Max Factor all those decades ago.
On the line with us is Donelle Dadigan, founder and president of the Hollywood Museum and Hollywood's most influential Woman. Donelle's busy as always. In fact, she's traveling to a meeting right now, and she's taken time out of her morning to talk to us about the Remembering Lucy exhibit, which is now on display at the Hollywood Museum, and she shared a personal story with us. And as you mentioned, those eyeglasses are just one of the many personal items of Lucy that folks can see at the Remembering Lucy exhibit.
You know, Ed, I wanted to share with you also that, all of the guests at opening night of I Remember Lucy, whether it was her granddaughter or folks that worked with her, they have all contributed to this exhibit, and we are thrilled to have this gathering of artifacts. It's wonderful, just wonderful, the love that has gone behind making this exhibit for a remembrance for America's premier comedian, Lucille Ball.
And Remembering Lucy will be on display both in the lobby and the Redheads Only room throughout the summer?
Yes, it will.
Because we have listeners, including Susan from San Francisco and Karen from Nevada, who specifically asked, will it be there, because they're going to come down and check it out because they're big Lucy fans.
Oh, how wonderful, how wonderful. And, remind everyone that we are open Wednesday through Sunday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., closed Mondays and Tuesdays.
You can follow the museum on Facebook, facebook.com/The Hollywood Museum, as well as Twitter and Instagram at Hollywood Museum, where you can see some of the photos on display, some of the guests who dropped by, some of the special previews that we've been talking about. You mentioned Lucy's granddaughter, Kate Luckenbill Connor. She spoke at the event that night that you and I have been talking about. And if I remember correctly, working with Lucy's granddaughter, that's also part of your personal mission, Donelle, and the mission of the museum, which is to connect the past generations to the present generation and the future generations of Hollywood.
Absolutely. It's so exciting. And the fun part, Ed, is whether it is the actual relative of the celebrity, the children, the grandchildren, brothers and sisters, as well as the fans, generation to generation to generation. I mean, we experienced that today with our Batman exhibit, celebrating 80 years of Batman. It's incredible when we have 2 and 3 generations coming to see the exhibit together. It's a grandfather, it's a father, and it's a son. And the father and son, they both have T-shirts on, of course, in different sizes. And the grandson is carrying a doll that's either Batman or Robin in his hand. And the father and the grandfather are talking about when the TV show first aired with Burt Ward and Adam West as Robin and Batman in the 1960s. So it's fun to watch this multi-generational appreciation for the entertainment industry and what Hollywood entertainment has done for these different families and generations.
You mentioned Burt Ward. Burt Ward was one of the special guests at an event last week, which launched 2 new exhibits at the Hollywood Museum. One is the special Catwoman exhibit, which is the latest wing of the Batman exhibit and the superhero exhibits that you've launched in the last couple of years.
Yes. Well, Bert is a friend of the museum, as is his wife, Robin, and we love when they come out to join us for openings. And, Bert, to this day, he still has a twinkle in his eye, and he's always reminding of us of how much fun he had playing Robin and how it truly changed his life.
Bert's wife is named Robin? I was not aware of that.
Isn't that adorable?
That is so appropriate.
And actually, yes, I'm teasing you. Just listening, just waiting to see who would catch that little joke.
Lee Meriwether was in the audience that night. She was one of the 6 Catwomen, I should say, honored by the new Catwoman exhibit, which features lifelike figures of all 6 actresses to have played the Catwoman on television and in the movies. And what was so cool for me, just as a member of the audience that night, is Lee was so overcome with emotion she could barely talk. It's like the meaning of the honor kind of hit her at that moment, and for a moment she just couldn't talk. And it's a reminder that, yes, you may be a famous actor, you may be an icon, but you're very much a person, and that was a very real, genuine emotion.
Yes, yes. Well, she's a lovely lady. And, it's so much fun sitting down and chatting with her because she is so humble, and she doesn't realize how much history she carries with her, how much living history she carries with her. And it is so much fun to just sit and listen. All of the guests that evening just got a small glimpse of that. So I was thrilled. I was just thrilled.
Yes, and we mentioned that the Catwoman exhibit, there are lifelike figures of all 6 actresses to have played the Catwoman on television and in the movies. I don't think I asked you this question before. When I mean lifelike, I mean lifelike. They look like Lee in the movie. They look like Julie Newmar on the show. They look like Eartha Kitt on the show. They look like Anne Hathaway and Halle Berry. Did the team who put the figures together, Donelle, did they consult with the actresses? Did they just work with their imagination? How do they make them look so real?
Well, with modern technology, with laser and three-dimensional abilities to assess different photographs and all of the technology that we have, is quite fun. And we did send photographs to each of the celebrities, and they were blown away.
Yeah, we posted a few of those photographs, folks, on our Facebook page, facebook.com/TV Confidential. We also wrote about the event on our website, televisionconfidential.com. Plus, there are photos at facebook.com/The Hollywood Museum, as well as on Instagram. And so you could check it out yourself before you come down and spend the afternoon at the Hollywood Museum. We mentioned Eartha Kitt, Eartha's daughter, Kit McDonald, who she's a friend of yours from way back. She talked about how Eartha, in a very subtle way, kind of broke ground on that show. And it's funny because when I think of Batman, I think of it being over the top and fun, but in her quiet way, Eartha Kitt made a statement on that show when she played Catwoman.
Yes, and I like the way that you said she broke ground. She was a trailblazer, and wherever she went, in her own way, which was always filled with strength and femininity, she used that, and it's a very powerful tool. The two of those melded together. She used that throughout her career and in her personal life. Her daughter, Kit, who's now Kit Shapiro, Kit McDonald when we were little, she, like her mother, has embodied the same gifts of strength, quiet strength, speaking out when necessary, and always so elegant and so natural at all of it. And Eartha Kitt was that way. In personal life, she was that way. She was a queen in personal life, just in when she was on the screen or on your television or when you saw her in a theater or a nightclub. She was always royalty. She had something about her, an air about her. And I'm thrilled to say that her daughter thought we captured her mom, Eartha Kitt, so beautifully and so lifelike.
Yes, we have a photograph of Kit Shapiro being presented with a special certificate by the Los Angeles City Council, which is all part of the event at the launch of the Catwoman exhibit, which is now on display at the Hollywood Museum, thehollywoodmuseum.com, facebook.com/The Hollywood Museum. The other event, before we forget, the other exhibit that is now on display this summer is the big Bionic event, the big $6 million man Bionic Woman event, which also features lifelike figures of Lee Majors and Lindsay Wagner running in tandem as Steve and Jamie, including Steve's iconic red jumpsuit.
Yes, it was so much fun. I mean, can you believe Lee Majors himself came to unveil this exhibit with his beautiful wife, Faith, and they came from Texas to do this. Lee is quite something, and he is a forceful gentleman in a very elegant, quiet way. And I really enjoyed our time with Lee for the opening of this event.
This is the takeaway I got from listening to Lee's remarks. He spoke for maybe 2 minutes. He didn't say a lot, but he spent his entire time thanking other people. And I thought that was cool.
Well, I think that sums it up. His wife, Faith, said to me the day before, my husband, you will see, He won't take up a lot of time because he's always concerned about other people. And meanwhile, I'm giggling to myself and thinking, that's because he's the consummate professional, and he doesn't have to take minutes and minutes and minutes and half hours like we have to be able to get our point across. You're right. He spoke, he was precise, concise, and he gave credit to so many other people. And I so appreciated that. Everyone who worked on the show with him, and that was important in his life. I mean, it was wonderful.
It was wonderful. When we had a chance to talk to Lee on our program, Donelle, many, many years ago, you talk about how he's very concise and very precise with his time. He told us he learned that from Barbara Stanwyck.
It doesn't surprise me. Oh. And I've learned another something new from you today. So thank you. Oh, that's great. Oh. We have Barbara Stanwyck's costume from the Big Valley at the museum, by the way. Now I can add this to that. Oh, my goodness. Every time I walk by the costume, I'm going to think about what Lee Major said. That's fabulous.
On the line with us is Donelle Dadigan, founder and president of the Hollywood Museum, one of the most popular tourist attractions in Hollywood, featuring more than 10,000 authentic show business treasures, spotlighting more than 100 years of Hollywood history. Among the current exhibits on display this summer at the Hollywood Museum is Remembering Lucy. Remembering Lucy includes props, costumes, posters, and other items from Lucille Ball's film, radio, and television career, plus other personal items. The $6 Million Man Bionic Woman exhibit, which features props, collectibles, and other memorabilia from both Bionic series, plus lifelike figures of Lee Majors and Lindsay Wagner. The new Catwoman exhibit, which features lifelike figures of all 6 actresses who have played the Catwoman on TV or in the movies, plus the annual Reel-to-Reel exhibit, reel-to-reel portrayals and perceptions of LGBTQ in Hollywood, which celebrates the LGBTQ community's contributions to the entertainment industry over the past century. The Hollywood Museum is located at 1660 Highland Avenue at Hollywood Boulevard in Los Angeles. For more information, call 323-464-7776 or go to thehollywoodmuseum.com. One of the other exhibits coming up, in fact, I think it officially returns on Friday, June 7th, which is the annual Reel-to-Reel exhibit, Reel-to-Reel Portrayals and Perceptions of LGBTQ in Hollywood, which salutes the LGBTQ community's contributions to Hollywood and the entertainment industry over the past century. And we've talked about this before. When you bring an exhibit like Reel-to-Reel back, you always add to it. So there's always new things coming. And I understand one of the latest additions, and this goes back to what we talked about before, about connecting one generation to the other, is a costume donated by Richard Pryor Jr. for the Reel-to-Reel exhibit.
Yes, Richard Jr. It was so nice. He was at the museum, as you know. And he said, I have something very special I'd like to present to you. It was from the film that he starred in called College Debt. It was filmed in 2009, where he plays a female impersonator. It is this wonderful costume. It is big, it is bright, it is yellow, it has rhinestones and sequins. It is bigger than life and fabulous.
And again, it makes it a living, breathing exhibit because it is personally donated from one of the actors and it connects one generation to the other.
Absolutely.
You've got another event coming up at the end of June, and it has to do with Olivia de Havilland. Are you at liberty to talk about that?
Oh, well, yes. Mary Anderson, as you know, worked with Ida Lupino and Olivia de Havilland, and so we are just thrilled because we are going to have one of our intimate soirees and have Mary come and speak about her relationship and what she can share with us about it. But additionally, there are some fabulous letters that were handwritten. Those were the days when people handwrote. But even more so, these ladies never relied on a typewriter. They truly handwrote their letters and then signed them, not having an assistant type the letter out and then they quickly signed their name at the bottom. So there's some delightful letters, and then we're going to learn about the story of the teddy bears and the tradition and what did that mean. These two ladies had quite a few interesting private jokes and private stories between them, and this will be a wonderful opportunity to learn all about that.
So as always, there are a lot of things coming up this summer at the Hollywood Museum. For more information, thehollywoodmuseum.com, facebook.com/The Hollywood Museum, as well as at Hollywood Museum on Twitter and Instagram. Donelle, I know you're about to run into a meeting. Thank you so much for spending time to talk to us on TV Confidential.
Hey, thank you, Ed. I really enjoy seeing you. Come by and visit us more often.
The Hollywood Museum is located at 1660 Highland Avenue at Hollywood Boulevard in Los Angeles. For more information, call 323-464-7776 or go to thehollywoodmuseum.com. And speaking of the Catwoman, when we come back, we'll go back to June 2017 and play part of our tribute to Adam West that featured clips from our conversations with two of the actresses who played the Catwoman, Lee Meriwether and Julie Newmar. All that more after this quick time out here on TV Confidential.
Buying or selling a home can be one of the most stressful things we'll ever do in life, but it doesn't have to be. And no one knows better than our friends at Front Porch Realty Group. They're a community of realtors serving the Northern Bay Area of California that cares about their clients as individuals first and foremost. Whether you're a first-time buyer or looking to lease or sell your property in the Bay Area, Front Porch Realty Group will help you through this important transition by providing you with the right information for your situation while lessening the pain. They also work with a network of realtors throughout California who provide the same high caliber of customer service. Call Front Porch Realty Group at 415-886-7411 for a realtor referral near you. You can also visit their website, frontporchrealtygroup.com, for more information on the services they provide, including upcoming workshops and seminars. For more information, call 415-886-7411 or visit frontporchrealtygroup.com. Front Porch Realty Group. They'll find the solution that works best for you.
Are payday loans ruining your life? Do you want control over your money again? If you have 2 or more payday loan cash advances, listen closely. You may be eligible for a program payday loan companies don't want you to know about. A program that may help get aggressive and unfair payday loan companies out of your bank account and get you back on track to financial freedom. Payday loan companies may trap you into paying outrageously high interest rates, and they take way too much of your hard-earned money every week. We understand their tactics and know how to keep them off your back. We'll fight hard to help you regain control of your money. If you have 2 or more payday loan cash advances, call right now for a free consultation.
800-488-5880. 800-488-5880. 800-488-5880. That's 800-488-5880.
Hi, my name is Lily. My mom and dad used to fight about money all the time. Then one day, I heard them talking about this guy, some uncle I never knew, called Uncle Sam. Well, they say this Uncle Sam guy wanted them to pay him like $1 gazillion, and they didn't have $1 gazillion. So they called this company they heard on the radio called the Tax Doctor. And the Tax Doctor worked with Uncle Sam's people. I think they're called the IRS. And they were able to work it out so my mom and dad didn't have to pay Uncle Sam very much money at all. So now mom and dad are happy, and I'm happy too. Thanks, Tax Doctor.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call now and pay less.
800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. That's 800-649-0142.